my fellow Pokemon trainers, a new Tera Raid 7-star Unrivaled is upon us, now revealed and confirmed, so you know what it's time for. Creating the perfect weapon to make this frog croak. Okay, so Greninja then is quite the conundrum. This is the first 7-star where it could equally be both a physical or a special threat, which means preparing a Pokemon becomes much more troublesome. But fear not, for I have come up with the Pokemon and the strategy that will work no matter which direction they choose to go with this Greninja. But before we get to that, what actually might this Greninja be doing? Well, obviously it is Poison Terra type, which means we want to be hitting it with ground or psychic moves. That's awkward though, because he has water and dark coverage in spades to hit psychic and ground Pokemon. Stat-wise then, Greninja, as I said, equally can be physical or a special attacker. Slight edge to special attack and they might just go with that. Ability-wise, he's likely to have Battle Bond, as they've made that a big special deal, and that will give him at least one raise of speed, special attack, and attack as soon as he knocks out one of your allies or you, so that's going to be a factor as well, mitigating his growing strength. We then have a look at the fact of his moveset can be insanely varied. Going based on Charizard and Cinderace, he definitely is going to have a poison move, a water move, and a dark move. He will have a move for his main types that he's representing, including the Terra type, and then he'll probably have some sort of coverage to catch people out. In terms of bonus moves that he will throw out, he only has one booster really in Swords Dance, and that only really applies if they go the physical route with him. Other than that, he might well start using shenanigans like Smokescreen or Double Team to make us hard to hit him. He might even throw out Toxic Spike, so if we die and come back, we get poisoned. He might even have Haze to cancel our stat boost, so he just completely nullifies our setups. But these are all extras that will happen at certain times during the fight, and he probably won't be spamming them. He might also have Taunt, but Taunt would be especially mean, as I don't know how you're supposed to beat any Tera Raid where you can only use offensive moves all of the time. We'd either just have to deal with it, or bring an Oblivious Pokemon, which very much limits your options, and based on Cinderace also able to have Taunt but they didn't give him it, I'd be very surprised if they're that evil with Greninja. So, to put it all into a more understandable way, these are the two Greninja that I think we're most likely to face. A special attacking Greninja with Dark Pulse, Hydro Pump or Water Pulse, Terra Blast for the poison move, and then Ice Beam, Extrasensory or Grass Knot for the coverage, and then the extra little tricky moves we talked about. Physical Greninja, however, of course, basically swaps the Pulse for Night Slash, hands in the Water Shuriken, of course, the Gunk Shot for the poison, and then Ice Punch or Trailblaze for that coverage. And whichever one of these it is, he's going to be hitting very hard, and he's going to be able to super effective a lot of types we might bring. So, we need a hero! Yes, the champion of choice for this battle, the reliable hero, is Lucario. It is time for him to shine, and the reason being is Lucario, like Greninja, can equally go special attack or attack. And you might be like, well, that doesn't really matter, does it? Greninja's not going to be randomly walling up one of the stats and we need the flexibility. No, what we do need, though, is the ability to defend and survive against either special attack or either attack. And given that Lucario can both raise his defense and special defense, depending on what we need, that makes him super flexible here, but it's way more than that. First and foremost, he is steel fighting, which means he's immune to poison and half damage from dark, which means it's only the water moves that we really have to worry about here, and even then we're only taking normal 1x damage, and Lucario is certainly not made of paper, especially as we'll be boosting his defense. So, I am going to give you two versions of Lucario, two builds, depending on whether Greninja turns out to be special or physical, and then you can choose which one and go for it. So this is anti-special attacking Greninja Lucario. Of course, we want him to be level 100, And ability-wise doesn't really matter, but anti-flinching is fine. Terra type we want to be fighting, so we keep our dark resistance, even if it means dropping steel to get hit by poison, but hopefully it won't come to that, as we'll just be one-shotting him anyway. Then we want the item. This is where it gets a bit trickier. Because of the shenanigans we might face with things like smokescreen, the clear crystal is a good choice, as it will negate that and make us 100% accurate still. If that doesn't happen, maybe Covert Cloak to stop a confusion from a potential water pulse, or simply a leftovers to slowly heal up the little bits of damage we'll take once we have boosted our defense, or maybe even just a life orb if we don't need it, like the slow bro. One of those 4 items though, certainly, and here I've just given him the leftovers just for demonstration purposes. EV training wise then, maximum HP and maximum special attack. And then, of course, IVs, everything but attack is your ideal. Moveset wise then, this is where it gets, well, I think quite good. We want to be giving him Calm Mind. He gets this through leveling up, so just remember it. And then Nasty Plot, this is TM140. You can find this at least one version for free in the crater if you run out of this research station. Follow my path up the cliff and you can grab it real easily. Then we want Metal Sound. This is a 2-stage lowering special defense, and this he gets from leveling up, so just remember it. And then finally Psychic TM120 for our offensive super effective move against the poison. And now you see where this is going. We can use the Calm Mind to raise our special defense and special attack, thereby increasing our damage while also walling against Greninja's special attacks. And if we get to the point where we're comfortable, we can then use Nasty Plot to majorly boost ourselves even faster. Then we can use our Metal Sound 2 to 3 times to make Greninja -6 on his special defense, and then hit him with a +6 against his -6 Psychic, which is super effective, which will utterly destroy him, and really, job is a good un, nice and easy. Then let's swap over to what if Greninja is a physical attacker? Well, it's a very similar train of thought, except now, of course, you want to make the Lucario a adamant nature, so attack up, special attack down. You now want him to get ability patch, so he has the justified ability, so we get an attack boost if Greninja does hit us with a dark move, because now that's relevant. Item-wise, it's the same conundrum as before, one of the 4 that I mentioned, depending on how he turns out to be. Here I've given him the Life Orb, just for demonstration purposes. Then IVs, of course, you want everything but special attack, and EVs in health and attack. That's all set up, and essentially our moveset here is just the same as the special attack version, but now the physical attack equivalents. i.e., we're now doing Swords Dance instead of Nasty Plot. He gets this from leveling up, so remember it on him. Screech instead of Metal Sound to harshly lower defense. This we can also put on him just from remembering it / leveling up. Then we want Bulk Up, the equivalent of Calm Mind, to both make us harder to kill from Greninja's physical attacks while raising our own. We'll use this however many times it needs to feel comfortable surviving. And then finally the actual super effective damaging move, this time the physical Earthquake, which also hits poison super effectively. And then it's kind of the same strategy. We go into the Tera Raid, we bulk up however many times it needs to feel comfortable surviving, then we finish raising our attack with Swords Dance, then we triple Screech his defense down, and then we hit him with a +6 against his -6 Earthquake that's super effective, that will probably all but one-shot him, and it's as easy as pie. I think no matter whether you end up on the physical side of things or the special side of things, this is going to be an incredibly solid Pokemon that will get the job done reliably with these sets. And if you want to know where to grab your own Lucario from, there is a guaranteed level 75 encounter of him, well, here. If you go to this Pokemon Center, follow my path into the cave, jump up to the right, there's a little tunnel, go all the way to the end of it, and you will get him. He is Ice Terra type, so you'll have to swap him to Fighting if you end up needing to Terra, but other than that, it's a good starting point that will save you XP candies, because he's already level 75. Past that then, I hope you find this helpful in having something to at least have prepared, if you want to have something prepared, but of course, when the raid itself comes out, I will let you know just how to literally beat it in one attack, as I always do, so look forward to that. For now, like if you enjoyed this, subscribe and hit the bell for more, consider supporting the future of the channel on Patreon down below, and until we meet again, a goodbye.
Josh, Cotton, and Hollow with the videos, dropping the humor like a hammer on your tippy toes, bringing entertainment on a daily arrangement to take our insanity and turn it into entertainment. Yes, I said entertainment twice, to reiterate that it is nice to look into your faces on a mostly daily basis when you let us in your homes to make the whole world a stage. Goodbye.